Hey, it's Jeff Toyster with a tip for managing customer expectations. You can use this technique to prevent service failures and avoid upset customers. I want to start by sharing a story. George was an airline gate agent. That means he assisted customers boarding planes with their baggage, changes to itinerary, etc. Now, one day George had some very bad news to share with his passengers. He had just learned that an ice storm had canceled all of the flights coming into the airport and going out. And even worse, flights were not expected to resume for more than a day. Now, George had to share this information with hundreds of passengers who were waiting for their flights, and he knew this was not going to go over well. So he had a few options. One is he could not share the information at all. Of course, that doesn't work, but maybe he could exaggerate a little bit or even tell a little lie and say, hey, it's going to be just a few hours or we'll get you going right away. But George knew this wasn't true, so he told them the truth. Flights were canceled. No flights were coming in. No flights were going out. And it was going to be more than a day before flights could resume. And even worse, George wasn't exactly sure when flights would be ready to start flying again. Now, as you can imagine, customers weren't happy. They were upset. They were frustrated. But they weren't upset at George. They appreciated that he had shared this information with them, that he was being truthful, and that he was doing his best to help reaccommodate them or help them figure out their travel plans. Now, that's my tip to you. There will be times where you have to share bad news with customers, and you don't want to. But this is your opportunity to manage customer expectations. If you lie or exaggerate or withhold the truth, you'll set an expectation that just can't be met. And later on, your customer will be more disappointed. But if you tell the truth, it does mean that you have to give your customers some bad news, and it takes a lot of bravery to be able to do it. And your customers might not be happy in that moment. But in the long run, you'll set expectations in an appropriate place. You'll avoid disappointing customers, and most of the time, they'll appreciate your honesty. So be brave, and when you have to share bad news, tell the truth.